You always hear about the stories of people getting kidnapped. Elizabeth Smart being a perfect example. It's always a story, though. You never really feel like it's happening or that it's really real until it happens to you. My sophomore year of high school, my sister and I were headed to early morning seminary because I'm from Texas. It was a Friday, and it was my turn to bring donuts to the class, and so we left 15 minutes earlier than we usually leave because we also had to grab some gas. We leave in my mom's minivan. We go get gas, and we get a call from my dad that says, "Hey, you brought the wrong card with you. Come back and switch them out before you go get donuts." So we turned back into my neighborhood, right, on this long street. There's this long street. There's 3 turns off to the side, and we're this 3rd turn down here. And when we're turning on the street, about right here, I see this white van, and it's just sitting there at 5:30 in the morning with its lights on, not moving. I said to my sister who was driving, "That's weird. I'm sure it's nothing, but when we get to the house, turn into the driveway and turn the car off really fast so that we don't draw any attention to our house." We do that. We start to get out of the car. We didn't go into the garage or anything because we were just running in to get the card. And as we're getting out of the car, the white van is turning the corner. We both kind of stop in our tracks. We look at the white van. And then the white van moves all the way up in front of our driveway and stops in front of our driveway, completely inhibiting our ability to leave if we wanted to. So now we're stuck. My sister, who has terrible fight or flight instincts, tries to hide under the car. I was like, "Get off the ground, run to the front of the house." The door was locked because, it's 5:30 in the morning. My mom's keys have this 9 million keys on it. And so she's rustling to get the keys. As this happens, the guy gets out of the car and he's starting to swiftly walk up to the front door. At this point, she's got the key. She's starting to unlock, and he gets all the way to the front door and he has my arm. We finally get in the house. He runs away, gets in his car, zooms off. We're, of course, startled, dying. We tell my dad. He gets in his car, tries to find him. He's nowhere to be seen. We didn't see him again until about 3 weeks later. And it was kind of we woke up and I was feeling a little unsettled. I was like, "Hey, just stand back for a second. Let me just scan the outside." Because at this point we now had our own car, and so we were parked on the street. And I step outside and I look side to side, and sure enough, on our street this time was the same white van, lights on, waiting out in his car a couple houses down. We were beside ourselves. Moral of the story, and a couple weeks later, I see him on the news, a drawing of himself, and he is wanted because he abducted a child who was actually able to get away. Anyways, moral of the story, it's not, regardless of how safe your neighborhood feels, it's always important to be so cautious, but also to follow the Spirit, because I definitely felt the Spirit that morning whenever I felt the need to check. And it probably saved our lives.